I'd like to share with you my collection of Swiss soldier knives. I've been working on this for quite a while now, buying and trading and upgrading these knives, and along the way I've learned a little bit about them and their history. I thought I would share that with you. If you're a like-minded collector, you might find this interesting and perhaps helpful. If you know something that I don't, and you have something of value to add, some constructive feedback, please, I encourage you to leave comments, and we can help each other along on collecting Swiss soldier knives. So basically what you see in front of you is my collection. I have 4 of the 5 major models of the Swiss soldier knife. They are the model 1890. I do not have that one. Of course, that was the very first. You can still acquire them, but they're getting quite rare and they're very pricey. There are some reproductions out there. I'm going to make a video on each of these models separately, and unfortunately for the model 1890 I'm just going to have to use a picture. I've been talking to a dealer in Switzerland about trying to find one, but I'm not sure I can afford one when and if he does find one. But anyway, so the next model is, oh, by the way, the model 1890 has 2 varieties. The next model was the model 1908, which I do have, and that ran for quite a long time. There's really no major differences, so there's only one variety. And there was a model introduced in 1951. It went through 3 different varieties. I have a couple here represented. And then you see the model 1961, which is the aluminum handled or ALOX scale model, which is so popular. There are actually 7 different varieties of that. If you want to split it 6 ways to Sunday, I have 4 of them represented here. And then finally in 2008, after many, many years, the knife was redone, and then you've got the model 2008, which represents new technology and new materials and new tools. I'll make a video on each of these separately and go through them and handle them. I just wanted to give you an overview today and talk a little bit about the history. The thing that's kind of neat about Switzerland is that, well, there are a lot of things that are neat about Switzerland, but every able-bodied male in Switzerland who's of majority age has to serve in the military. And I believe they have to remain a reservist after they do until age 50 or something. And they're all issued some standard equipment, which includes a rifle and a pocket knife, which they're expected to keep. I believe the Swiss Army is the only army in the world that has, since 1890, and still does, issue a pocket knife as a standard equipment for their troops. And so way back in 1889, they introduced a new rifle, and this rifle needed a screwdriver to take it down and to reassemble it. And so the Army, they had different tools. The troops had different tools to do different things, but the Army wanted to bring those tools together into a new multi-tool knife. And so they commissioned this new knife, and they wanted the main blade on it. They wanted a screwdriver, of course, for the rifle. They wanted a can opener because many of the rations back then were in cans. And they wanted a reamer or awl because back in the the late 1800s, they still relied on horses a great deal. There was a lot of leather equipment that the awl or reamer was really good working with, boring holes and things like that. So they went ahead and commissioned this knife. There really weren't cutlers in Switzerland that could handle the order at the time. So the first year, 1890, all the knives were made by German companies out of Solingen. So kind of interesting, Karl Elsener, who is the founder of Victorinox, he brought Swiss cutlers together and formed kind of an industry, and starting in 1891 the Swiss started producing the model 1890 knives as well. So that's just a quick overview. Again, this is the model 1908. And again, I'll get the tools out in the subsequent video. We can take a look at the differences of all these models. That's the 1951. Looks pretty much the same. It's just kind of downsized, lighter, smaller. This is a 1951 with what they call grill-on scales, these red nylon scales. They're rare, and that's probably the most expensive knife in my collection. These are also hard to get. These are the 1961 ALOX red scale models. They ran for a couple of years, and then they went to silver. And then there were some changes over the years. And then again, I did mention the 2008, which is a substantially different knife in a lot of different ways. Very modern. It's bigger. It's heavier. More in keeping with the times, but it's lost a lot of its elegance, I think. It did introduce a couple new tools here on the back, and I'll talk about those. There's a lot of videos online about the new Soldier, so I won't say a whole lot about that. But anyway, that's my collection, and I hope that's been helpful. I just wanted to keep this brief. I will go into each model in more detail in subsequent videos. So if this kind of thing interests you, please tune back in to watch some more videos. And thanks for watching this one, and have fun collecting.